Good morning, Solaris 7. Calgary Battletech brings you Season 2 of Uncivil Discourse with your hosts, Brett, Lee, and commentary from Geoff. Howdy and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to another wonderful episode of Uncivil Discourse with your hosts, Lee, Geoff, and myself, with guest spots from Trouble the Hound of War.
Damn it. I thought you had a intro written for me. All right. Might have to leave that in. Yeah, hi, everybody. I'm back. We're back. It's great. I know we had a bit of a weird week without Ramble Tech, but we really wanted to get that command coach out for everyone to learn a little bit ways of speeding up play. So, back with all the news and reviews.
Are you sure that's really what it was? I'm pretty sure it was just we all needed sleep.
Shh. Don't give away editing secrets.
No, I'm pretty sure it was just we all needed sleep, especially Brett, because I think the executive decision was made that Brett needed sleep.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys told me to go to bed and not to talk to you for like 2 days.
If only it was longer.
So, everybody, guess what? We did it! We got to 150 subscribers on the YouTube page. Congratulations to all of our fans, and thank you for your continued support. With that, we are now going to be able to go through the videos published since we hit 100 subscribers and grabbed all of your prize entries. Once we have that done, we'll go do the draw and announce it here for everyone to get as excited as we are. Now, please be aware that once we hit 150 subs, that's when we capped off the entries. So if you're still commenting, that is awesome, but understand you can't get put into the draw because, well, we got to cap it off at some point.
Once we have that winner chosen, we will have them reach out to us with contact info and all that good stuff so that we can get a price quote on shipping and send them that sweet painted Merrick Lance.
All right, with that out of the way, folks, let's get on to skill spends. We have, starting off, Kondo's Janissaries. The Cerberus picks up Lethargic. The Doombud's Wraith uses Underworld Contacts to pick up a Beagle Active Probe. Mass Destruction, the Crab, uses Technician to swap the ECM for a Beagle. It's like those C3 guys want their C3 to be working or something. Donru Tiger Slayers, the Orion, uses the Veteran skill to get a third secondary, picks up Missile Grouping, and the Warhammer picks up Nearsighted. Blitzkrieg Jezebel's Crab picks up ECM using the Underworld skill, and the Zeus, using Veteran as well, picks up Failsafe. Kel's Keshik's Marauder, using the Veteran skill, picks up Crystal Alignment and Anticipation. Lords of the Underworld, the Berserker, picks up Berserker Rage. I almost think we should give that one to him free because he took a Berserker, but yeah, no, he spent his skill points on it. Red Sun's Irregular, the Banshee picks up Speed Demon, and the Phoenix Hawk picks up Bribery. Tin Man's Tin Cans, Warhammer picks up Mountaineer. Thumper's Revenge, Salamander picks up Trial Run. Second Salamander in the league to start running with all those multiple missiles. Let's see what kind of damage and usefulness they can beat. B-Side Brawlers, Night Sky picks up Two-Hander. Vandals Valkyries, the Night Star picks up Gunnery. The War Club, Night Sky picks up Tactics. Man, these are all rolling in together. Parker's Pathfinders, Centurion, uses the Veteran skill and picks up Steady Hand. Abishai's Avengers, Sunder picks up Gunnery. The Flying Tigers, Victor, picks up Gunnery. The Victor picks up Steady Hand. And the Phoenix Hawk, using Underworld, picks up ECM. Petulant Perry's Periphery Pirates, the Gunslinger picks up Gunnery. The Fallen Angels, Awesome, picks up Stand and Deliver. The Blood of Bashir, Warhammer, picks up Gunnery. Second St. Ives Janissaries, Black Knight picks up Target Lock. And we had 2 teams bank their points this week.
Once again, we're seeing a bunch of teams pick up multiple skill spends. You know, that's what happens when you bank points or get cheap skills. A lot of people grabbing gunnery now again, and there's some really good choices this time around.
Yeah, Jeff, there's been a lot of really interesting skill spends, including like that I was really quite surprised about was Donner Tiger Slayer's nearsighted on the Warhammer. At first, I was like, "How is that going to work? Like, where does that fit in?" However, now I realize with his C3 system, once he's at short range with his spotter, the Warhammer gets the benefit of the nearsighted. So that's actually a really interesting mixing of the tech and the skills to get that extra advantage.
Yeah, that is pretty neat.
For our listeners that are unfamiliar with the skill, nearsighted gives you a 1-point benefit to shooting at short range and an additional 1-point penalty at long range. However, the C3 network will potentially give him the opportunity, as long as he is in range of his weapons, to be firing at short range using a spotter. Now, with that exciting news covered, let's review last week's matches. Game number 1, this very exciting match between Abishai's Avengers and Kondo's Janissaries, took place on one of our custom maps, Arena 4 Heavy Hitters. This map adds an extra challenge of high gravity. Now, Abishai's Avengers have been on a tear so far this season. In a second place only because of Mech's Lost, they have won every game so far. Until now. Kondo's Janissaries come out punching, never letting the Avengers a moment to catch his breath. This match turns the tables and ends in a 4-0 victory for Kondo's Janissaries.
Yeah, the seemingly unstoppable Avengers were 5-0, 5 wins, 0 losses, and I think 20 kills to his credit with very few deaths until they come up against JP, proving why the Kondo's Janissaries manager is a 2-time championship team.
I am actually very surprised at the outcome of this match. I did not think it was going to be a 4-0 match in either direction. That's just crazy.
And moving on to game number 2, folks, hold your horses. Hold your horses. Or should I say, catch a tiger by the toe? MP hollers oh my God, Brett, why do you do this to me? This week's exciting excursion to the Roads and the Hills Arena shows us an unexpected experience. We not only got to see the Flying Tigers get a quadruple to his previous kill count, with the Imp getting the killing blow on all 4 Pathfinder's mechs, but Paul brings home his first win of the season with a 4-3 Flying Tigers victory.
Paul wins! Paul wins!
Wow. Yeah, this I was watching the end of this match, and Paul getting his first victory of the season is awesome. His opponent Chris was still happy and smiling after walking away, and this came down to the very end. It was so close. That 4-3 win is just great, and like I said, it came down to the very, very end.
When you got a game that comes out that's only 1-point differential, you know it was a good game, and it's almost guaranteed that everybody had a good time and that there was lots of tense moments and terse dice rolls. I'm happy to see the result of this, and I'm absolutely confident that both of these players are as well. Game number 3, the River Valley doesn't slow this next match down. Not our first finished match today, but the War Club definitely goes to town on Petulant Perry's Periphery Pirates, taking home another 4-1 win and remaining our only undefeated team so far this year.
Excuse me?
Yes, a tie is a non-loss, so I guess one of 2 teams that are undefended, technically. My apologies.
Undefeated, sir, not undefended.
And that's until he hits playoffs, then he loses out. But then again, I may not see playoffs, so I really don't have an argument.
How's that glass house doing, Lee?
I keep throwing stones and people keep throwing boulders back at me. So, and when the Pirates said they wanted to go clubbing, I'm not sure this is what they meant. The War Club really unsurprisingly beat another opponent for something. I'm kind of glad to see that Galen got a kill in there. Like, that's pretty good. It shows some cracks in the War Club's armor.
Now, I didn't take a look, but I think it was the gunslinger. So apparently if gunslingers keep both legs, they can kill stuff, huh?
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
I think it's just as long as the gunslinger's not yours.
That could be too.
This is the War Club has been on a tear, and I believe almost every single game for them has been a 4-kill game. And this is only the third time they've lost a mech. So, and they've lost the 2 lightest mechs when it comes to their lands, in these games. So the Grand Dragon was twice, and the Night Sky once when it's come totaled up for all their games. So, he's doing something right.
Game number 4. Speaking of falling down, the Fallen Angels face off against Vandals Valkyries on yet another custom map, the Lunar Base, and enjoy low gravity, making all the mechs have the ability to go much faster. With a spot piloting skill check, though, if you fail, they take a critical hit on each of the legs.
Yeah, but say what you want. This is a 4-1 victory for the Vandals, helping them right their ship. And albeit the Fallen Dagger mech did score its first kill, I believe, of the season with that wonderful floating BB. I'm really hoping this starts to be a bit of a turnaround for Chris. And John did give a good showing. He played with his heart and really tried to take advantage of the extra speed. It just didn't pay off for him.
No, he fell down. Go boom. Yeah. No,
but
it was
not
nice.
a Sachowski maneuver.
That's true. It was not a Sachowski maneuver. No, it sounded like they both had a great time. Even with it being a short match, and Chris got those 4 kills, which I know he's been fighting against the entire season so far to get those kills. And he only lost 1 mech, which unfortunately means the Fallen Angels are not in last place.
Wah, wah, wah.
Whatever could you mean, Geoff?
Well, you see, what happened is, that 1 kill puts them against another team who, unfortunately, we'll speak of later when we get to their match. But that 1 kill puts them in 1 point above them.
Oh, no. Someone's sitting in John's basement eating his chips and enjoying his coach.
Game number 5. This next match has Risten's Rogues taking it to the Barren Lands to face off against the Blood of a Share. Go ahead and give us a rundown on this one, Geoff.
Oh, man. Playing Andrew is great fun. And Andrew was playing a good game up until his 1 mech fell, and then his dice just said, nope, you have fallen down. We want nothing to do with you anymore. Once the mech fell down, it had trouble standing again, and the rest of his dice rolls were they just abandoned him, totally abandoned him. So it was nothing he did wrong. It was literally he just had bad dice rolls that failed him on everything once we hit that halfway point in the game. As always, Andrew is a pleasure to play against, and he was still happy.
Yeah, and you know what? I think I've been hearing that a lot about your games anyway, Geoff. You're winning, you're having a great time, and everybody walks away from the table feeling like they had fun. Andrew just takes it to that next level of having fun no matter what's going on, which is awesome because it sure brightens the room and makes everybody around him happier.
Yeah, exactly.
I am so very glad that he showed interest and we convinced him to join the league this year.
Yeah, me too. We've had a really good group of people join. And almost 22 players. We have 22 people that are making everybody's lives better by being there. And that's saying a lot considering the fact Aaron is, my arch nemesis.
Everybody needs one, I guess. You might as well have him.
Congratulations, by the way, Geoff. That was a good game, and I'm glad to see that you're now in second place.
I don't know how, but, somehow.
It's because you're undefeated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know how that's happening with the way my dice were for the first 3 or 4 games.
Because game 2, I blew up my own mech.
Well, that's why you have the Sachowski maneuver.
Patent pending. All right, game number 6. Following up that exchange, we have yet another custom map in rotation. The second St. Ives Janissaries, after much smack talk, meet the B-side Brawlers in the Fortress Arena. The B-side Nightstar hangs back and provides fire support, while the other 7 mechs move forward and meet in the industrial area of the map. The Bees fly into a bug zapper today, as the Archer has its leg blown off. Then the night sky is lit up like a Christmas tree with Inferno missiles and shuts down. The Axeman gets hammered, loses a leg and arm, needing 12s to stand on 2d6, and promptly kills itself, trying and failing to stand just to deny the Atlas one more kill, deciding that he also wants to pull a Sachowski maneuver and kill himself. This leaves all 4 Janissary mechs closing in on the Nightstar, heavily damaged, mechs versus a basically pristine solo mech. A valiant stand, but the Nightstar is unable to win the day. Second St. Ives Janissary victory 4-2, as they lose both the Black Knight and the Atlas to the Nightstar's brutal firepower.
Yeah, we have some amazingly tough assault mechs in League, and that Nightstar is definitely one of them. But when you're facing off against 4 mechs, and with some of the firepower and things that you can bring to bear, Brett, it's very difficult to beat. And it's just a matter of numbers at that point. I can't say that I'm hurt or dismayed that the B-side Brawlers lost. But I also like seeing him, do a good standing. He now understands what I meant when I faced him about how it was a close game, even though it was a 4-2. Because he could have taken you out. He did get 2 of them before you got his Nightstar.
He did try a Death Star maneuver where he fired 1 Gauss rifle at 1 mech, 1 Gauss rifle at a different mech, and the Clan ERPPC at a 3rd mech, hoping to try and get 3 kills in 1 round. It did not work out for him.
They normally never do work out. Concentrating firepower is the way to go. 4-2 victory for you, huh, Brett? Well, that just means that Aaron's going to be that much more wanting a victory against me. I look forward to the match.
Game number 7 in other news, Thumper's Revenge takes to the field against her offspring, the Doombuds. LRM versus LRM. There are many mechs falling down and lots of tense moments, but the family feud ends in a 1-0 victory for the Bunnies.
I was expecting a close game, exactly what it turned out to be. Alex, remember, now that you're an adult, it's not child abuse. It's just a beating. You actually have to report it, and you probably still need to go to therapy. Way to go, the Thumper's Revenge team. Good luck over the next few games. I do know you face some good opponents, but I think you and the Blitzkrieg Jezebels are going to end up being in the A side. You keep this up.
I think you're correct. Yeah, one of the 2 of them, if not both of them, are going to be in the A side. Come the way things are going for them.
Yeah, well, if we were to shut down right now, they would be in the A side.
I did hear that there was a bunch of skills forgotten on both sides of the table here too. That might have changed the outcome in some cases.
You mean like a targeting computer on a Thunderbolt?
Yeah, or the fact that you had favorite weapon on something like, I don't know, a missile boat.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
No.
The longbow with 4 LRM-15s forgot it had favorite weapon.
Yeah.
I hear there was a lot of blaming a certain somebody that's in charge of printing sheets for them.
Oh. So the blame just gets kind of spread all the way around. Gotcha.
Yeah, once again, it's Brett's fault.
Yeah, I'm willing to run with that.
Yep.
I need a plaque. It was all my fault. Game number 8. Due to illness, this match was unable to be played between Tin Man's Tin Cans and Mass Destruction. Big thank you for anyone who puts their own health and the well-being of others above rolling some dice. Cannot state that enough, that we do appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for looking out for yourself and your friends in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. As much as I really, really, really wanted to play Justin, and I'm going to have to play him outside of League now, really glad he took that step to make sure that nobody got sick. And I feel really bad. I am now the first bye winner. Let me rephrase that. BYE winner. Because the one I only get 2 points instead of 3 for the win. Exactly, nobody wants to win like that. I want to play Justin. He's so much fun. And besides, he might have gotten a kill. And then John would be in last place. But that didn't happen.
No.
Lasai.
I think that's the whole point. I think he was trying to sabotage John's basement dwelling,
Ooh.
and he just felt pity for you and wanted to give you a win.
That's true. It does put me back on the winning side of things. I'm now batting 500 with an asterisk, but we'll see how it goes in the next couple of rounds. It may not make any difference.
Justin wasn't sure you could beat him legit, so he just decided to play hooky.
Yeah, that's one way to make sure I win.
Game number 9. People are scared of pavement for no reason at all. Well, Condo's Janissaries has valid reasons, but the Red Suns Irregulars and Donru Tiger Slayers have no reason at all to be scared. Although this match was slated for the pavement experience, they vetoed the map and fought on our default instead. This seems to have worked out for the Red Suns as they rise again on the battlefield, 3-1 victory.
From what I hear, there was a lack of MRM goodness from the Tiger Slayers, and Gary didn't jam any racks today, which is really surprising because Donru Tiger Slayers just got that Orion with the ERPPC and 2 MRM 40s. I was hoping he was really going to, be successful with that because those guns got to work sometimes. And Gary didn't jam any racks. That's pretty solid. That's going pretty good. Once again, Gary's still, I don't know why he's not second or third. He's doing so well. He's still down, he's up in the top 6, but now he's lost 1 game. So, way to go, Gary. And Brandon, get ready. You're going to be starting to really pop mechs off with that Orion and the rest of your Lance. I see really good things coming from out of you.
Yeah, that's disappointing to hear that those 2 MRM 40s didn't just, haste somebody with a multitude of missiles. And the fact Gary didn't jam any racks disappoints me because, every week I got to ask him how many jams. And he just, he disappointed me this time and didn't jam any. No, but good job, Gary, getting that win. And welcome back to, the top half of the league.
Game number 10 in the foothills, the Blitzkrieg Jezebels face off against the Lords of the Underworld. I'm not sure if the Berserker was a great league mech. It's intimidating as all get out, but it keeps going down on Jay for this season. The Lords do tag a single kill in this exchange, though. 2-1 victory for the Jezebels.
So, a couple of things on this. To start with, so I made a bit of a mistake. I set up Heather to face off against Kel's Keshiks and got the names backwards for Jeff and Jay and gave her completely the wrong scouting report to go under. So she went into this completely blind. I'm glad to see that she did really well. I've always had a problem with the axe wielding mechs as much as I love them because they always seem to get focused on and you lose them before they actually get to do what they're designed to do. So maybe in a bigger battlefield, like a 12 mech or something like that, 12 on 12, where they can kind of get lost in the shuffle and then make a mad rush at somebody. Yeah, but in a gladiatorial fight, they just don't seem to be doing what everybody was hoping they would do. It's the long jumps and the pulse lasers that are making the night skies so deadly. It's not their axe.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the nice thing about the Night Sky, though, right? Is that you jump in, use your pulses, and instead of attempting a kick, you're just like, okay, well, I'll attempt my axe, because then I don't have to make a piloting check if I fail. But you are right. It's the fact that they can jump around and put pulse weapons on something more than hitting it with an axe. I don't agree with the Berserker being a horrible mech. I just think it's not had its chance to shine for him yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's a horrible mech either. It's just, I think because it is so intimidating, like Brett's saying, everybody's just laying focused fire on it till it drops. Because really, it's doing the same thing that Brett's Atlas is doing, right? It gets at you as quickly as possible so it can get its short-range weapons in bear, like its 2 large pulse lasers and its hatchet, where Brett's getting his Atlas, who moves slower onto bear so he can get those SRM6s going. So I think it's just not been having any luck. Because really, even if you do lose the hatchet, you have 2 10-point punches or a 20-point kick, so it's not weak.
No, I think it would have been better for him if it had a variant that jumps, but the only way you could have gotten that is like engineering.
Yeah, he's having fun with it, but it's just not performing for him. Game number 11, last but not least, Kel's Keshik returns to the Red Peaks for another victory against Odin's Storm Riders in a 4-0 final score. Now, the way I hear it, Odin was not supporting his boys this fine day. They must have done something wrong, because they couldn't hit anything, consistently rolling 3s and 4s with all their big guns.
Yeah, if your dice aren't supporting you, there's nothing you can do. And take a look at Vandal's Valkyries. It's exactly what's happening to him. Or was. Anyway, it's been kind of happening to me. Geoff's been talking about with his pulses. If your dice aren't working for you, it doesn't matter how good your tactics are.
Yeah, it don't matter if your target numbers are 5s, 6s, and 7s, or 12s if you're not rolling anything but 3s and 4s.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been a few people that have had that issue this season where their dice are just like, no, what's that? You need 5s to hit? Well, here, enjoy your 4s. Enjoy your 3s. So yeah, it is what it is. It's a dice game, right? You know, they're either hot, cold, or mediocre.
And once again, I'd kill just for mediocre.
Mediocre would be glorious.
So, we're at that stage of the show, everybody, where we're moving on to Jacques' Award of the Week. Go get him, buddy. Well, everybody, it turns out that actually John is going to be busy this week, so I am going to end up having to do the awards. And while John is busy out there in the real world with a new job, he did tell me what award he wanted to give out this week and who it should go to. And I happened to forget it and chuck it out the window. I do know who he wants, but I'm going to give out the award. This week, everybody, in a back-to-back award winning, Paul with the Flying Tigers gets this week's award with the It's Been a Long Time Coming. That's for winning a game after like almost 20 years of being out. Way to go, Paul. Glad to see that you finally got it into the win column. Pulled yourself out of the basement. Now let's see 3 or 4 more of those and let's get you into the B-side playoffs. As John would say, keep your stick on the ice and may your beer be frosty.
Next up, we got Lee with his special guest for the interview of the week. Take it away, Lee.
Actually, I do have to jump in on that. I'm actually not the one who did the interviews.
Oh, wait, have you been canned for that?
I might be. We'll see how well the new interviewer, Heather, did. My wife got in there on game day talking to a bunch of players to see their opinions of their upcoming games and how they're doing this season. We'll have to see how that ends up going, and if everybody likes it, it will become a reoccurring event.
I'm just going to say it now, Lee. You're fired.
I'm willing to take that.
Replaced.
Okay, this is Heather here, and I have a special interview with the mother-son duo, not trio, but duo. Alex's Doom Buds, not Doom Buns, Doom Buds versus Laura's Thumper's Revenge. So, Alex, how's this game gonna go?
It could go really either way, honestly. Both have very interesting lands compositions. She has 2 ECMs, but I do have a Beagle active on, one ECM. She got rid of it.
I never had one in the first place.
Ooh, semantics. The arguing already starts. How's it gonna go?
I don't know. Luck with the dice, to be honest.
Okay, I think Mom probably has something better to say than that.
I'm gonna kick his butt.
Oh, just his butt? You're not gonna kick his ass?
I'm being humble.
Humble my ass.
Hey, you want me to be honest? I will beat you like a redheaded stepchild in Alabama.
So let's check in with these two later and see how it went. Okay, now I'm here with Brandon, newscaster, not even knowing the names. Anyways, Brandon, are you gonna face your dad this year?
No, probably not this year. I think I might be in Division A, maybe at the bottom of Division A, but I don't think I'm going to be in the B League this year.
We shall see, my friend.
Oh, Dad's talking in the background. I think we might have to go talk to him next, but we'll see. So, how do you think your game's going to go today, Brandon?
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be a close match, though. I'm definitely relying on my new gem in the lance, but we'll see.
Do you have any predictions on what the score is going to be? Who's going to go down first? Anything like that?
Oh, I have some plans for who's going first, but we'll see how this goes.
Final score is going to be.
Well, I'm definitely hoping for 4-0, but I'm thinking I'm probably gonna go maybe 3-2 is my guess.
3-2. Okay, we'll check back with you later and see how that goes. So I'm now gonna. And let's see what he thinks. Do you have any predictions or thoughts on your game against Brandon today?
Oh, this one can go either way. I've been researching a lot since the podcast where nobody decided to have anything in my favor. So, I'm going to have to, try to do something about that one. So, have everybody, reassess what their predictions are for my lands. So, this will be the game to do it.
Oh, so you're going to take their predictions, throw them in the garbage, hey? Okay, so let's check Gary. Let's see how it went.
16 rounds of fire. How many racks did he jam? Let's see. The guys were predicting that they were going to jam and I was going to have my way with it. He jammed 1 rack on the last round. I lost 3-1. I was hoping for the MRMs to hit a little bit more, and I was definitely hoping to do that final 2 points of damage to his Banshee that kept shooting at everything.
Nice. And Gary, so you finally proved those admin wrong, or what?
For the first time of many times, let's say that, but it was a game of dice, really bad, coming down to the MRMs missing a ton, which thankfully, but it also came down, he got in close, 5 spinning with a rack is just way too much damage incoming to take out. And with you missed with the MRMs, so when you charged me with, well, it went down. It was definitely better than I expected, let's say that. Couldn't hit the broadside of the barn until the last 3 turns of the round, but whatever. It works.
So that's Gary and Brandon on Gary's win. Duo went today. Come on, guys. Don't keep it back. Alex, Mom won.
I'm going to say some insensitive stuff, so I can't say anything, unfortunately, by being honest.
Somebody's a little bitter.
Because just please,
The roles you wanted?
2 seasons in a row, I've lost to her.
It don't matter how big you get, you gotta sleep sometime, and she got a baseball bat.
Well, thank you for that, Heather, and hopefully everybody enjoyed that as much as the rest of us did. This is leading us into the Week 7 matches. This is getting exciting, folks. We're getting down to the last 3 games of the regular season. We have game number 1. The Condo Janissaries, after a big win against the Abishai Avengers, come along with 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. They're up against the Parker's Pathfinders, who are running the middle of the pack. They're doing really well this season. They've got a couple of little hiccups, but they're ready to get going. They've got 2 wins and 4 losses with no ties. In this situation, I am going to say that JP is going to continue showing why he's always a contender, but Parker's Pathfinders are going to throw a couple of roadblocks up his way. It's going to end up being a 3-2, with it being like the last round or 2 before JP and the Condo Janissaries lock it down.
I think this is going to be a good game where they have some fun. There's some potential for player growth in this. There's some potential just for an enjoyable match. I think JP is going to start adding some more ticks to his kill count this season with this game, though. I'm going with a 4-1 Condos Janissaries victory, but it's not going to be painless, as Parker's Pathfinders are definitely going to kill something, because they've got a really solid lance this year and some good skill choices.
Yeah, you're right. He does have some really good skill choices on the Pathfinders. But in the end, I do think you are correct, Brett. We are going to see a 4-1 for the Condos Janissaries.
Well, we're going to move on to game number 2. Abishai's Avengers have just come down off of their first loss of the season, sitting at 5 wins, 1 loss, with 20 kills and 7 mechs lost to the enemy. They're up against the top of the league, the War Club. 6 wins, 0 losses, 0 ties. 24 mechs killed. 3 mechs lost? Might be 4.
Only 3.
3? Okay. Our records, we're still working on getting our records perfected. However, in that case, this is the big aggressors of League going up against each other. This is the game of the week, possibly the game of the season, because it may be the only chance some of us have of catching these guys. In my bet, I'm going to say that Abishai's Avengers are coming back choked. They weren't happy against their loss against JP, and they're coming in a little bit angry, so they're going to be going right down the War Club's throat, which is going to be interesting because that's usually what the War Club does. They come charging at you and try to run you over. I think that might actually work in Abishai's Avengers' favor, and I'm going to say it is going to be a 4-3 win for the AAs. They're going to show the War Clubs their version of clubbing you over the back of the head for the win.
Now, I think somebody shows up and goes clubbing, that's for sure, but it's going to be the War Club. They are just hammering everything into the ground this year. They have that big, solid Devastator and the Atlas, and they're just going to toe the line. Now, I think it's going to be a more painful match for them than they've seen so far this year. I'm calling it a 4-2 War Club victory. Abishai's Avengers picking up 2 kills off of this match.
You're slightly wrong. The War Club does not have an Atlas. They have a Awesome and a Devastator.
Didn't I say a Devastator and an Awesome?
Nope. You said Atlas.
Meh, Atlas on the brain.
Boy, it don't matter.
Everybody should have one. It's all good.
It's a 100-ton mech, right? But they're all the same.
It's big, it's beefy.
No, it's not. You know, I really want Abishai's Avengers to win this one, but then again, I'm biased on this because an Abishai win would bump me up to first, depending on how my game goes against, the B-side brawlers. In the end, though, I have a feeling the War Club's going to win it. I think it is going to be I think it's going to be a 4-2 also. As much as I don't want it to be. Sorry, Calvin.
All right, game number 3. We have 2 teams that are tied in the standings and are looking to continue or rebuild some momentum. The Flying Tigers, with their first win of the season last week with 1 win, 5 losses, 0 ties, they're up against the Blood of Bashir, who, after an early victory against myself, has been really not getting into the win column. However, he is playing good games, he's being quite competitive. The dice just aren't falling his way, and the mechs are unfortunately falling in his opponent's way. So, I am going to actually say the Flying Tigers only because I'm such a huge fan of Paul. I say the Flying Tigers are going to get their second win, really start getting some momentum on their feet, but it's going to be a 3-1 victory.
For a guy that's only got 6 games under his belt, Andrew is holding his own pretty solid. I agree with you. This is going to be a Flying Tigers victory. I do believe Paul's going to end up pulling out 3 kills in this match, but I think Andrew's going to take 2 of the Tigers with him.
I don't agree with either one of you. I think Andrew's going to win this one. I think he's due for another win again, and I do think the Blood of Bashir is going to take this, and I think it's going to be a 2-1 for the BB.
Well, we are now moving on to game number 4. We have the Petulant Perry's Periphery Pirates, 3 wins, 3 losses, 0 ties, sitting at the mid of the field. They're going up against the Vandals Valkyries, who just came off a victory, getting them to 2 wins, 4 losses, and 0 ties. I'm going to say I'm cheering for the Valkyries to use those big guns and do well. I do know that the 4Ps are a tough team, so I made a promise as well. I'm going to go the 4Ps winning it 3-2.
Oh, this is a tough match to call because both lances are very scary on paper. The Vandals Valkyries, if they can get within like that 6 hex range should just be devastating. Tradition shows that they tend to fall down, though. And that's usually just on a bad roll or a dice or a piloting skill that goes sideways. I think this is going to be a good match. I think they're going to have fun, but I think it is going to be a 4-2 kill Petulant Perry's Periphery Pirates victory.
No, I agree with you, Brett. I think we are going to see a Petulant Perry's win over this one against the Vandals Valkyries. No, Lee, I don't think it's going to be a 4-2.
You said you agreed with him.
I agree it's going to be a Petulant win.
But that's what I said too, was a Petulant win. You agreed with him. You didn't agree.
Yeah.
I assumed you weren't agreeing with me.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. Why would I agree with you?
Because I'm right.
Just because it's your birthday doesn't mean I have to agree with you.
But I'm right.
No, you're incorrect. I think it's going to be a 3-1 victory for the Pirates.
Well, that's going to move us on to game number 5, which is a very important game for both these teams. We have the Ristons Rogues with 5 wins, 0 losses, and 1 tie, so our only other unbeaten team, going up against the B-side Brawlers with 3 wins, 3 losses, 0 ties, who are kind of faltering a little bit after their really braggarted win over myself. I'm going to say that Ristons Rogues, Geoff, you're going to continue the process. You're going to continue grinding people down so that you can end up staying in those top 2 or 3 spots. I'm going to give you the win on a 3-1. Well, actually, I'm going to go 2-1 because your kill counts have not been huge. I think you're going to beat him, but I think there's going to be so much defensive going around that it's just going to be a couple of kills on your part, and he's not going to be able to take down more than one of yours.
So this one is going to be a game that's played, that has fun. I think both players are going to enjoy it. I think if there's a youngin present, they're going to enjoy it. But I think it is going to be not a super high-scoring game. Unless B-side runs into a B-zapper again. I do believe Ristons is going to take this. He just plays too defensive to not be able to pull out the win here. B-side tends to be a little on the aggressive side. So this is going to be a 3-2 Ristons Rogues victory. Not a complete blowout like the B-side has seen in some of his other matches, though.
I'm looking forward to playing Aaron. I think it's going to be fun. And if he brings the child, I'll just make the child roll my dice for me. And then what could possibly go wrong? It's not like I can get any worse rolls, right? Outside of that, though, I do think this is going to be a B-side Brawler win with a 3-2.
You're calling it against yourself?
Yeah, I'm totally calling it against myself.
I think the fix is in, folks. I think the fix is in. This is just trying to screw me out of A-side. I don't know how, but this is somehow you're trying to keep me out of A-side.
I don't need to do that, Lee. You're doing that yourself.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
You're going to have to fight for B-side, Lee.
All right. Game number 6. Man, look what I have to put up with. We have the OG Fallen Angels with 0 wins, 5 losses, and a tie, going up against Thumper's Revenge with 2 wins, 3 losses, and a tie. Well, the Thumper's Revenge are more than willing to beat their own kid for a victory, and the Fallen Angels have definitely decided to go on the more fun play side of the way they want to run the rest of the season, as well as some pretty interesting aggression in low gravity. I think he's going to jump all over the Thumper's Revenge. It's going to be close because, well, I don't think Laura's just going to walk all over John. I think it's going to end up being a 4-win. She's going to get them all, but I think it's going to be 4-2 with her remaining 2 mechs pretty badly damaged.
Yeah, run as fast as you can, as often as you can in low G is an interesting strategy, but I'm not sure it's one that I would have done. That being said, this game is going to keep the Fallen Angels out of the basement. Not because I think it's going to be a win. I definitely am betting on Thumpers for this. However, I believe the score is going to be 4-2 for Thumper's Revenge, which is going to slip the Fallen Angels 2 kills and keep them out of that patented last place. I think Thumper's Revenge is going to be a 4-2 victory, but they're going to let slip 2 kills, keeping the Fallen Angels out of that coveted last place spot.
I think you guys are both correct that we're going to see a Thumper's Revenge win over the Fallen Angels. I don't think it's going to be a 4 something. I do think it's going to be probably a 3-1 for the Thumpers. I can see the Angels getting that kill. So yeah, that's what I think it is.
All right, and now for part of the reason why the second St. Ives Janissaries manager is calling for a win is game number 7, where the SSIJ, with 5 wins, 1 loss, and no ties, they're playing the Tin Man's Tin Cans, who have 0 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie. I think you got a walk-off victory already, Brett. I think Justin's finally, with his little bit of an illness, has reset and is coming back strong. No, I can't say he's going to beat you. What am I thinking? That Atlas is going to get in there, light him up like a Christmas tree, and he's going to fall down a lot. I'm going to say, why do you guys with these names? Second St. Ives Janissaries win with a 4-2 victory for you.
This is a game I've been looking forward to. Justin is such a skilled painter. He has taught me a lot over the last few years and really encouraged me to try and grow my skills. I appreciate that challenge a lot. That being said, I'm hoping he accepts the challenge for what it is meant to be and feels the same way when I lay out his tin cans and crush them. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to have a great game. I enjoy chatting with this fine individual and look forward to sitting across the tabletop and actually playing a game with him. I do believe it's going to be a 4-2 victory because I play way too aggressive not to lose mechs, and Justin has some good mechs on there. There's no way that he's not walking away with at least 1 or 2 kills today.
What to say here? I don't want Brett to win, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. I do want Justin to get some kills, which I do feel is going to happen, especially if, the Sachowski maneuver comes into play. So just remember, Justin, hit the Atlas a lot, make it fall down. That seems to be the case when you want crits against it, is you just make him fall down, and then he just kills himself. So go with that plan, and I think we will see we'll still see a second St. Ives victory, but I don't think it's going to be a 4-2. I think it's going to be probably a 4-1 in the end.
Game number 8 sees the Doom Buds with 2 victories, 4 losses, 0 ties. They're up against the Red Hot Red Sun Regulars, 4 wins, 2 losses, 0 ties. I see both these teams having such huge leaps and bound gains from the way they were playing last year. The Doom Buds are playing tough. Their C3I system is strong. He's got to remember his skills, that he has favorite weapon on his longbow that cost him last game against the Thumpers. Red Suns regulars don't have to remember anything. They just need to keep playing exactly the way they've been playing and adjust to what Alex is showing him, and he's going to win. I'm going to go Red Suns irregulars with a 3-2 victory.
Oh, now this is a good game. I am going to really enjoy hearing about this one. I know both players always look forward when they face off against each other. I think it was 2 or 3 times last season between season and playoffs. They both enjoy the match. They both enjoy sitting there chatting and laughing and having a good time. Red Suns Irregulars is really enjoying a good, successful season this year. But he's edging into that A-side playoffs range and might be a little tentative about that. Doombuds is eager to try and raise up in standings. So I think this is going to be a Doombuds. I think the kid is going to pull out a 3-2 victory over the Red Suns Irregulars. And I think they're both going to have just a really good time. I actually would love to see this match played on a custom as well.
You just want to see every match played on a custom.
Not necessarily true. There are some matches that should be played on custom.
I think this is, the Doom Buds are going to take the Red Suns out to the woodshed and end their run right here. Not for the season, but just this little streak they got going. And I think we're going to see a Doom Buds win with a, I think we're going to see a 3-2 for the Doombuds.
Game number 9, we have my somewhat stumbling team, the Mass Destruction, with 3 wins with an asterisk due to the bye win, and 3 losses up against the Lords of the Underworld. 1 win, 5 losses, 0 ties. I'm going to, you know what, I think I'm going to do okay. My team is starting to gel. My skills are done for getting all of my mechs the way I want them, and I can finally start buying skills that are going to affect how the game goes versus just how my mechs play on the game. I'm going to try to take it to the Lords of the Underworld, and I'm going to be quite a bit more aggressive. I've also got another plan for my smoke clouds, so I'm going to give those a try. I'm going to say I win it 3-1.
Okay. Just once a season, I want to hear about that Berserker getting in and hammering something with its hatchet. If the map is willing, this could be the game for it. Jay, go custom. Show up early, get in there before Lee, pick custom, and convince him to let you play on it. I think this could be a Lords of the Underworld 3-2 victory.
You know, I think Lee's just going to continue his streak against playing new players and losing to them. You know, that seems to be the case. When he plays new players to the league, he loses. Right? You know, he plays the other folks that are from last season, and he wins. So I think he's going to continue the loss session with our brand new players. I don't want to say he's fixing it, but, you know, that possibility is there.
I mean, if he wusses out and he takes a standard map instead.
That's entirely my decision, and I'll decide that on game day.
I think we are going to see Lords of the Underworld win. I think you are going to get your wish, Brett, and that hatchet on that Berserker is going to smack something. I don't know what. You know, for all I know, it could be itself, but it's going to hit something. And we're going to see a Lords of the Underworld win with a 2-1.
Well, remember, he picked up Berserker Rage, so it should be good.
Ooh. True. Very true.
Game number 10, we have the Dawn Ryu Tiger Slayers with a record of 3 wins, 3 losses, 0 ties. They're up against Kells Keshik with 5 wins, 1 loss, 0 ties, who are actually becoming one of the toughest teams in League, and we're not talking about them a whole lot. That being said, the Dawn Ryu Tiger Slayers are on a bit of an upswing. I think their tech is really merged now with that upgrade to the Orion. I think Brandon is going to get the win 3-2 because I think they're going to smash each other really hard. And I don't think the Ultra 20 and the LB 20X of the Keshiks are going to be as useful because, in fact, Brandon doesn't need to close to get good ranges. He can use a spotter to do that.
So this is going to be a good match. We'll see how the Tiger Slayers play out against the King Crab. I would not be surprised to see Bushido called against it. So we'll see how that plays. You got to get those MRM40s hammering in when they can. Otherwise, those big 20s on the King Crab will come in and just start wrecking your day. Now, you also can't ignore the fact that he's got a avatar with 2 Gauss rifles sitting up on a hill somewhere, probably providing fire support. I think it's going to be a good game. I can't bet against Kells Keshik on this one, though. I do believe it is going to be another throwdown showdown match. I think it's going to be 4-2 Kells Keshik.
Yeah, you know, the Keshik have been on a tear with some of his mechs, you know, and they're quite deadly. Donru, though, I think are going to have the advantage early game with the C3i, or sorry, the C3, being able to just make the Keshik come to him, and then depending on the map, you know, if it's an open map, that's going to work out in the Tiger Slayer's favor quite a bit as opposed to the Keshiks. But in the end, I do think the Keshik are going to take it. But I think we're going to see I think we're going to see a 4-2. A 4-3 for the catch.
Right down to the wire.
I think so. Yeah, I think we are going to see it right down to the wire.
It's hard to call, right? Because that king crab, while you gotta try and kill it, it's a 100-ton walking nightmare that takes a lot to kill it. So unless you get some good grouping early on, that could absorb a whole lot of extra firepower that you need going elsewhere.
Got a lot of ammo though, so there's a lot of chance for the a melted pilot.
Yeah, but he always ultras it, so he burns through a lot of ammo real quick too.
Yeah, true. But I don't think he'll be quite as used to his opponent hitting him that early in the match. What the Dawnru Tiger Slayers can do is get in and get good numbers early. I'm not sure he's going to get a whole lot of shots off before that King Crab's absorbing a lot of damage. So, game number 11, we have the Blitzkrieg Jezebels with 4 wins, 2 losses, 0 ties. They're up against the Odin Storm Riders, which are right in the middle of the pack with 2 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie. Well, I've been calling the Blitzkrieg Jezebels all season, other than I think 1 game, and I don't think it changes here. I'm going to do a better job of helping Heather prepare her scouting report reads. And I think she's got her lance almost exactly where it is. We're actually now trying to struggle to find skills that fit versus the skills that we need to fix anything that's wrong with the lance. I'm going to say the Blitzkrieg Jezebels win it, but it's going to be close, and I'm going to say it's going to be 3-2.
This is going to be a good game. Both players are enjoyable to have around and will enjoy each other's company. I think Heather will help Will elevate his game. I think Will help Heather just smile and giggle a bunch throughout the day. That being said, I think it's going to be a little bit of a slow, low-scoring game. I think it's going to be a 2-1 Blitzkrieg Jezebels final score.
I think the Jezebels are going to continue their win streak here. They've got a little bit of a streak going. And like you say, I do think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think 2-1 is probably a good call on that one over the Storm Riders. So, yeah, let's keep Jezebels 2-1.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us again. We will be doing a special episode of Rambletech this upcoming week that will be a little bit spooky, a little bit, ooky, all that kind of stuff. And we might even have a special episode of Killbox. Have a great night.
Oh, really? We're doing something special? I don't see this anywhere in my contract.
You don't have a contract.
Did you actually send him a contract? Like, I just told him to get to work and pulled out the bullwhip.
We replaced our special commentator last season. We can do it again this season.
Like, just you try.
Actually, didn't we give the last commentator his own show?
Yeah, there you go. So,
we'll get, I don't know, Jeff's something on the go at the end of the season if he doesn't come back for season 3.
Who knows? Anyways, folks, thanks for joining us for another episode. And we'll see you on the next one. And we'll see you sooner with Rambletech.
Thank you again for tuning in for another episode of Uncivil Discourse. It's been over a year that we've been doing this now. We posted our first video on September 7th, 2021, and the ride has been pretty exciting so far. Looking forward to more, and hope you are as well.
Oh, and I forgot to announce this. We will be doing the draw on Rambletech. So, everybody, you gotta tune in, because you're really going to want to hear who wins.
Coming at you like a shot to the cockpit. Good night, and lights out.